Welcome back, Mobile Legend Warriors. Season 36 is upon us, and once again we are trapped in the dreaded epic hell and eager to ascend the ranks in Season 36. Today we're breaking down the top heroes that can help you break free from the shackles of epic hell. To climb effectively, selecting heroes that are self-sufficient, versatile, and capable of carrying games is crucial. Let's dive into our top 10 picks.
Power of Pegasus!
Starting off at number 10, we have Badang, a powerful fighter known for his incredible crowd control and burst damage. His ability to trap multiple enemies makes him a dominant force in the EXP lane and even a viable roamer. While Moonton did nerf him in the latest patch, it wasn't enough to take him out of the meta. His first skill's range was reduced from 6.5 to 5.5, making it slightly harder to stack Thunderbelt. His second skill got a cooldown increase to 9 seconds at all levels, and the dash distance was reduced from 4.5 to 4. However, the dash speed was slightly increased to keep the nerf from being too harsh. These changes make his second skill less spammable, but Badang is still a top-tier pick, especially in Epic to Legend, where there aren't enough bans, giving you a high chance to secure him and dominate your lane. Here is the top build and emblem set for Badang right now. At number 9, we have Kalia, the latest hero in Mobile Legends. She has quickly risen to the top as the best pick for both the roam and EXP lane roles. Her unique combination of crowd control, sustain, and mobility makes her an exceptional choice for initiating fights, disrupting enemies, and supporting teammates. As a roamer, Kalia shines with her ability to engage and control team fights. Her skill set allows her to knock enemies airborne, heal herself and nearby allies, and reposition key targets with her ultimate, making her a game changer in team skirmishes. Meanwhile, in the EXP lane, she excels at sustaining herself in duels, using her water zones to enhance both damage and mobility. Her versatility allows her to dominate one-on-one fights while also providing strong rotational presence across the map. With her powerful kit, Kalia is currently the strongest pick for both roles, offering a balance of aggression, sustain, and utility that makes her a must-have in the current meta. Here is the recommended build and emblem for Kalia. Items like Flask of the Oasis and Fleeting Time are also good options for her. Fleeting Time for more consistent ultimates, and Flask of the Oasis for extra healing and shield.
The path over carnage awaits.
Hayabusa secures the number 8 spot due to his exceptional mobility, high burst damage, and strong split-pushing capabilities. In the current meta, where fast rotations and objective control are crucial, he excels at pressuring side lanes while also eliminating key backline targets with his Shadow Kill ultimate. His quad shadow ability makes him difficult to catch, allowing skilled players to outmaneuver opponents with ease. While he recently received a nerf, his ultimate's physical bonus was reduced by 10%. Damage to marked targets was increased, which could actually be a buff in disguise. This adjustment makes him more effective at taking down priority targets like squishy mages and marksmen, reinforcing his role as a deadly assassin. His strong early-game harass and efficient farming keep him relevant, though he may struggle against tank-heavy compositions due to his single-target damage focus. Even so, his outplay potential and split-pushing prowess make him a dangerous pick in the right hands. Here is the recommended build and emblem for Hayabusa. If you're having trouble against Hayabusa's items like Winter Crown, Wind of Nature and Antique Cuirass can help you counter him effectively.
Let's hear from the crowd! Make some noise for yours truly!
Cici takes the number 7 spot as one of the most dominant EXP laners in the current meta. Unlike traditional fighters who rely on burst damage, She excels in prolonged engagements, using her spinning yo-yo attacks and passive spell vamp to sustain through fights. Her combination of mobility, sustain, and consistent DPS makes her a nightmare matchup, especially against laners lacking mobility like Aldous and Terizla, who struggle to keep up with her relentless pressure. Her agility allows her to control trades, slip out of dangerous situations, and relentlessly chase down weakened opponents. On top of that, her high sustain makes it incredibly difficult to push her out of lane, giving her strong control over objectives like the turtle and jungle fights. When paired with core items like Brute Force Breastplate and War Axe, she becomes even more oppressive, gaining additional durability, movement speed, and damage over time, making her almost unstoppable in extended duels. While she can be vulnerable to hard crowd control, her ability to weave in and out of fights with low cooldowns makes her one of the most oppressive EXP laners in the game. If left unchecked, Cici can snowball into a near unkillable menace. Here is the recommended build and emblem for Cici.
No one can resist my charm.
Granger takes the number 6 spot as one of the most dominant gold laners in the current meta. Unlike traditional marksmen who rely on attack speed and basic attacks, Granger thrives on skill damage, utilizing his unique skill-based playstyle to quickly burst down enemies. His capacity to harass opponents with Rhapsody and Death Sonata while maintaining a safe distance makes him a constant threat throughout the match. He can continuously pressure his lane, forcing enemies to play defensively or retreat, allowing him to farm freely and build up his stacks for the late game. His mobility with Rondo enables him to reposition swiftly, making him difficult to pin down while keeping up an aggressive playstyle. This, combined with his high burst damage, allows him to kite melee opponents effectively and punish those who overextend in an attempt to catch him. Additionally, his long-range ultimate, Death Sonata, grants him excellent finishing power, letting him snipe low-health enemies or poke safely before fully committing to a fight. While Granger excels at dealing massive burst damage from a distance, he does have his weaknesses. His reliance on skill shots can make him less effective against tanky frontliners, and he lacks the sustained DPS of traditional late-game marksmen. However, his ability to dictate the pace of fights with long-range burst, mobility, and lane dominance makes him one of the most feared gold laners in the game. Here is the recommended build and emblem for Granger.
Butterfly is born by thy wish, guided by lantern's light.
Zhu Xin takes the number 5 spot as one of the most impactful mages in the current meta, known for her continuous damage and ability to disrupt enemy formations. Unlike burst mages like Eudora or Kadita, she excels in crowd control and displacement, constantly setting up fights for her team rather than securing quick kills. Her skill set allows her to control the battlefield effectively, making her a valuable asset in both team fights and objective play. One of her strongest attributes is the ability to move while casting her second skill, letting her reposition while applying pressure. This makes her difficult to catch, but also mana-intensive, as spamming the skill on enemy heroes drains her resources quickly. However, it costs no mana when used on creeps, lord, or minions, allowing her to farm efficiently. Despite her strengths, Zhu Xin is heavily mana-dependent and requires proper positioning to avoid being an easy target for assassins like Ling and Hayabusa. While she is frequently banned in mythic ranks, she is more likely to be available in Epic and Legend, where bans are limited. Overall, Zhu Xin is a team-dependent mage who thrives with the right composition. When played correctly, she provides exceptional damage, zoning, and battlefield control, making her a strong pick in the current meta. Here is the recommended build and emblem for Zhu Xin.
Let's fight for our hearts to death!
Lucas claims the number 4 spot as a durable EXP laner and even a viable jungler. He excels at soaking damage while still dealing significant damage, even with tank builds. His ability to dive into enemy lines, lock down key targets, and sustain through fights with high spell vamp makes him a dominant force. His ultimate grants a 20% bonus to nearly all stats, boosting both his physical defense and magic defense along with his attack power. This makes him incredibly hard to take down, while his crowd control and mobility allow him to disrupt enemy formations and remain a constant threat. However, Lucas relies on proper positioning and ultimate availability to maximize his impact. While his sustain keeps him strong in fights, he struggles against burst-heavy heroes and excessive crowd control. Despite this, his mix of resilience, CC immunity, crowd control, high damage, durability, and mobility makes him a top-tier pick. He likely won't be nerfed until after the Naruto collaboration, so take advantage of his strength now. Here is the recommended build and emblem set up for Lucas. At the number 3 spot is Julian, one of Moonton's favorites, having already received 2 anime skins and a third on the way with the upcoming Naruto collaboration. Julian stands out with his unique ability to enhance all 3 of his skills instead of relying on a single ultimate. This unique mechanic makes him unpredictable and highly adaptable in various situations. Mastering his skill enhancements, especially when to use his second skill ultimate, an AoE attack that grants brief immunity to all damage and crowd control, is key to unlocking his full potential. Although Julian was recently nerfed with a role change from Fighter Mage to Assassin Fighter, which reduced his hybrid defense inheritance from Rose Gold Meteor to 50%, these adjustments haven't pushed him out of the meta. His ability to chain deadly combos, sustain in fights, and counter enemies with well-timed skill usage keeps him a strong pick. However, Julian has notable weaknesses. He heavily relies on skill combos to deal damage, making him vulnerable when his abilities are on cooldown. Additionally, heroes with high mobility like Irithel or those with strong burst damage can shut him down quickly. Here is the recommended build and emblem for Julian. Suyou takes the number 2 spot as one of the most versatile junglers in the current meta, thanks to his ability to switch between an assassin and a fighter. His passive grants him increased movement speed and skill mobility in assassin mode, while in fighter mode, he gains up to 40% damage reduction based on his physical attack. This unique mechanic allows him to adapt to different situations, whether it's chasing down enemies, sustaining in extended fights, or securing objectives. What makes Suyou even more dangerous is his strong initiation and sustain. His first skill provides a reliable stun, making it an excellent tool for ganking and setting up kills for his team. His second skill, which deals burst damage, also grants him significant spell vamp, allowing him to recover HP while trading blows. This combination of burst, sustain, and mobility makes him a nightmare for squishy backliners and a durable presence in team fights. While Suyou is a powerhouse in the right hands, he requires precise execution to maximize his potential. Mistimed switches between his modes or poor positioning can leave him vulnerable, especially against heavy crowd control. However, with the right decision-making, Suyou can dominate fights, control objectives, and be a key factor in securing victory. Here is the recommended build and emblem for Suyou. Cecilion claims the number 1 spot as one of the most broken late-game mages in Mobile Legends. Unlike burst mages that rely on quick eliminations, Cecilion excels at sustained poke damage, using his long-range abilities to chip away at enemies before they even get a chance to fight back. His passive allows him to infinitely stack mana, increasing both his damage and sustain as the game progresses, making him a late-game powerhouse that becomes nearly unkillable if left unchecked. What makes Cecilion so oppressive is his incredible range and scaling potential. His first skill, Bad Impact, deals massive area damage while keeping him at a safe distance, allowing him to control fights without putting himself at risk. His second skill provides a slow and crowd control effect that pulls enemies to the center and immobilizes them, making it difficult for enemies to escape or engage on him. When things get dangerous, his ultimate grants movement speed and lifesteal, letting him reposition while tanking through damage. This makes him a major threat in both poke-heavy compositions and full-team fights. However, as every hero has weaknesses, so does Cecilion. He is extremely mana-hungry in the early game, requiring careful management to avoid running out of resources before key fights. His lack of mobility also makes him an easy target for assassins that can close the distance quickly, forcing him to rely on good positioning and strong teammates for protection. Still, when played correctly, Cecilion's relentless poke, team fight dominance, and unmatched late-game scaling make him the most feared mage in long matches. Here is the recommended build and emblem for Cecilion. Disclaimer: the order of this list isn't based on the absolute strongest heroes in the game, but rather those that will help you climb out of epic rank and reach mythic or even mythical glory. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.